Well, hello and welcome to this week's edition of On Deck with Avoya, your weekly travel update. I'm your host, Chris Green, Director of Network Expansion for Avoya Travel. Thank you so much for your time because as a small business owner, I fully understand that your time is really your greatest currency. So we appreciate you engaging with our weekly show and hope you continue to find it a useful resource as a travel professional. We think we have a great show lined up for you today. We get to feature one of my amazing coworkers this afternoon. I'm telling you, the talent pool that works directly for Avoya Travel is certainly one of the best reasons you should consider affiliation with our network. Oswaldo Guzman, brand sales specialist, former very successful agency owner in the Avoya network, now one of the great sales coaches that assist the members of the Avoya network in achieving goals faster, more efficiently, and understanding the power of specialization, is going to be our Meet the Team featured guest today. Now, if you watch this program regularly, you've heard us talk about how important specialization is. Let's face it, you can't know everything about everywhere, every vendor, and that's what makes this unique resource, brand sales, that Oswaldo is part of, so special for those in the Avoya network. I can't wait to discuss this and more with Oswaldo coming up here in just a few moments. As travel booms, and trust me, it is booming. Oswaldo and I were just talking off camera, but Avoya Travel, the first 19 days of the year, amazing numbers. You can compare 2023, the first 19 days, and to any other year in leisure travel, and the numbers we're putting up this year, just staggering. But there's always a but, it seems, right? But will troubles persist in the airline segment that could cool off expectations? The CEO of United Airlines thinks it could happen. And that's one of the stories we're following this week for our Eye on the Industry feature. We're also going to feature a story about internet connectivity on board Carnival Corp ships across all their brands. Definitely a good news story for those that want to stay in touch with the world while they're sailing. And two more cruise ships step in to save the day and rescue stranded migrants at sea. We'll have details of this heartwarming story from the cruise segment in just a couple of minutes. We have promotions to discuss for both our new travel agent. We have promotions to discuss, right? We have one that's for experienced travel agents. We have our promotion for our military friends. We have our amazing new travel agent education powered by Avoya. And wow, what an amazing success story that's shaping up to be after only a few months. We want to touch base on the best-in-class resources offered by Avoya Travel. There's no doubt in my mind that if you're new to the travel industry, that you're going to need extraordinary support and guidance and development and access to world-class marketing and technology. Well, hopefully there's no doubt in your mind either. What Avoya Travel brings to the table as part of its shared success business model is so unique, and the difference in our network success versus other leading networks is just staggering. So please take the time to reach out and get connected with an affiliation specialist. You don't want to miss this special moment in travel, and your dreams deserve a chance to flourish. And to that end, we'll make sure you have all the ways to reach out and stay connected, get those details you need to make a smart choice for your business future. Okay, let's kick it off. This week's edition of On Deck with Avoya, your weekly travel update, some industry insights, and our Eye on the Industry feature. Might as well get the less than great news out of the way at the top, right? In a story we sourced from Travel Weekly, U.S. airlines will continue to fall short of their capacity goals this year, and discount carriers will have a particularly difficult time meeting objections. That's according to United Airlines CEO Scott Kirby from a report just this Wednesday in a Q4 earnings call. Kirby is quoted as saying, "We believe that the industry's capacity aspirations for 2023 and beyond are simply unachievable. The system can't handle the volume today, much less anticipated growth." The United CEO also said that operational collapses like the one experienced by Southwest Airlines over the holidays will continue until airlines are intellectually honest about structural changes that have simply made operations less efficient than they were before the pandemic. Kirby argued that airlines simply can't run as lean of an operation as they did in 2019, and that external constraints will continue to limit growth below the rate that carriers would like to achieve. He went on to say that U.S. carriers need to hire 10,000 pilots to meet their goals, but there's only 6,600 new pilots available. The math doesn't work out very well then. And aircraft delivery delays and other supply chain limitations will also affect growth. Getting people to and from is obviously vital to that whole travel supply chain. So we'll continue to monitor this story very closely. Carnival Corp is rolling out faster internet across all brands. In a story we also sourced from Travel Weekly, Carnival Corp plans to roll out faster internet service across all its brands as it enters into an agreement to use SpaceX Starlink satellite technology. Now, Starlink uses low Earth orbit satellites to provide lower latency. That's the time it takes for the data to reach a device, and higher connectivity. The company began rolling out Starlink on Carnival cruise ships in December and plans to install Starlink on Princess, Holland America, Seabourn, Cunard Line, with international brands in Australia and UK, and Costa Cruises coming a little bit later. Carnival Corp is the latest in a series of cruise companies contracting with Starlink to provide faster internet service at sea. Royal Caribbean Group plans to install Starlink across its entire fleet, including Royal Caribbean International, Celebrity Cruises, and Silversea brands. Hurtigruten also uses Starlink, and Windstar has been exploring whether that service would work for several of its ships as well. And finally, in a good news story that's actually getting coverage in the mainstream press, and it's something from Travel Pulse, and that same day, Royal Caribbean International's Liberty of the Seas was headed for its private island in the Bahamas when it rescued stranded migrants in separate incidences near the Florida Keys. And it's just nice to see the cruise industry getting some positive press from the media. All right, time for my favorite segment of the show, our weekly question and answer segment. And I especially love it when we can welcome new guests to our program and feature the amazing talent that works directly for Avoya Travel in a Meet the Team segment. Today, we're excited to introduce you to Oswaldo Guzman, brand sales specialist and one of the great coaches that help those in the network sell more, generate more in commissions, and excel with some of the biggest brands in leisure travel. So help me welcome to On Deck with Avoya, Oswaldo Guzman, brand sales specialist. Oswaldo, so great to have you on the show today, my friend.
I'm delighted to be here, Chris.
Oswaldo, before we get into details of how you help our network, tell me a little bit about yourself and how you found your way to Avoya Travel as a brand sales specialist.
So yes, Chris, so I started working for this social media department for a hotel brand. And then from there, in 2018, I decided to open my own independent agency. I looked for different networks, and obviously I found that Avoya was the best fit for me. I had a very successful independent agency, love working with my clients, but more importantly, I love all the support that Avoya offered to my agency. And then in 2021, this position as a brand sales specialist was available, and I thought it was a good fit. I interviewed with Gina and Danny, and the rest is history. I'm here and I love my job. Avoya has the best team in the industry for sure.
You know, Oswaldo, we've had the pleasure of featuring the brand sales team in the past, but I always love a fresh perspective. In your mind, what is the overall goal of the brand sales team?
That is a great question. So our goal is to increase sales for the brands we support and also help our independent agencies close more leads. And so there's a couple of ways in which we do that. We do optional individual sessions with our IAs. We also do network calls, and we also do inside quick sales tip videos that helps our independent agency understand promotions and understand all the different resources that Avoya offers for each of the different suppliers that we partner with.
As a follow-up to that, what particular brand are you the brand sales specialist for, Oswaldo?
Great question. So I have Virgin Voyages, Avalon, I have Globus, I have AMA Waterways, Amtrak Vacations, Apple Leisure Group, and Norwegian Cruise Line. So one of the best parts of having these brands is that I have brands from all different segments. So you have escorted tours, you have cruise brands, and you have also land vacation partners as well. So one of the things that I get asked when somebody asks me if I work for Avoya is, are you only do cruises? And the answer is no. We have partners from all over the industry that can help independent agencies sell whatever it is that they want to sell.
And as a follow-up, just to add on to that information, you know, with the pandemic, Avoya Travel certainly was able to see the future, and in the near future that land vacations, as the cruise segment was put on hold, was very vital. And our land and our all-inclusive vacation sales have been through the roof, and we continue to develop some of the deepest relationships in that segment. So as Oswaldo said, we've got all the bases covered when it comes to leisure travel. But Oswaldo, take me for a second deep into a coaching session with someone in our network that you might have? What are some of the basics things that you work with and you're trying to help an affiliate achieve?
Absolutely. So let's talk specifically about our optional individual sessions. Usually IAs come to us because they probably have never sold a brand before and they want to learn the product in and out. One of the things that my boss, Daniel DeBrod, the director of brand sales, said once is, we want to give you the keys to the kingdom, right? So during those sessions, we try to help independent agency owners understand the promotions, understand the booking engines, and also understand what promotions applied for that specific quote they're trying to give to the client. Now, sometimes I know promotion, they may oversee a promotion, and that's what we're here for. We're here to check and help them make sure that that client is not going to go elsewhere and go ahead and get a better promotion somewhere else.
Makes perfect sense to me. I mean, that hyper knowledge can only benefit when it comes to sales and probably customer service issues and just overall knowledge, which makes for a better experience for the end user, which is the client, right?
Absolutely. And to add to that, one of the things that a lot of people ask us questions about is the booking engines and how to utilize the booking engines to better sell. And we do sessions where we walk the independent agency owner on how to use those booking engines. And there's a couple of things that does. One is they don't have to spend a lot of time on the phone and they can spend more time doing what they do best, which is selling. And the second part is that they can be more accurate because we know that when you call a cruise line call center, you may be dealing with potentially a new employee who is still learning. But when you do it yourself, you are able to be more accurate.
Makes perfect sense. Oswaldo, as someone that has a very unique perspective, you've been both a very successful business owner in the Avoya network and now an employee of Avoya Travel, assisting the network as a brand sales specialist. Is there a piece of advice that you would offer those new to the travel industry that might help them to launch a successful agency?
Couple of things: patience, consistency, and never be afraid of asking for assistance. Our entire team is here to support you. So never feel like you're alone. If you have a question, if you need support with the booking, there's somebody here at Avoya that will be able to support you. So those will be my 3 tips.
That's a perfect 3 little pieces of advice that make a lot of sense. Oswaldo Guzman, brand sales specialist, is our featured Meet the Team guest today for On Deck with Avoya. Oswaldo, as a former affiliate, and I guess I just kind of let the cat out of the bag because I said I think you do, but do you think you have a unique perspective that you bring to the table because of that experience and in the coaching and the sessions that you participate in?
Absolutely. We know that opening a new business is not easy. So when you're first starting a new business, you may feel overwhelmed. And I think one of the best things we can provide here on our team when we do in our coach sessions is to be emotionally appealing and to help them understand that we have been there and that we may not know exactly what they're going through, but we have done pretty much the same things they have done while affiliating and while starting their business here on the network.
Because the things that it doesn't change, right? I mean, technology changes, but the basic things that make a business owner freak out, you probably had that freak out moment when you were a business owner. I know when I was an agency owner, I had those freak out moments, and having that resource, somebody to bounce an idea, just to help you calm down, to remember, okay, it's not the end of the world, we can kind of figure that out. It's so important to have that resource, right?
Correct. And I think one of the things that our team is really good at is about making connections with the IAs. We're not here. I like to say that our employees, our team members here at Avoya, are not just here to go to work and go home. All of us here, as far as I know, we love our jobs and we just love engaging with our IAs. Our goal is to make sure they are successful. And I think everybody here does that.
And part of the reason as an employee, we want the IAs to do so well is that as a company, we don't sell travel. So for Avoya Travel to excel, right, it goes back to the heart of that shared success business model, right, Oswaldo? A shared success business model. We only do well as a company if they do well as a network. So it only makes sense, right?
Correct. Shared success model, a mutually beneficial relationship, most definitely. We want to make sure, we want them to understand that if, of course, they do well, we do well. And I think our team does a good job of letting them know that. because they know that when they need us to close a booking, when they need us to close a sale, we are here. We are here for them. As I was telling you on one of your previous questions, we do those individual sessions. We do a quote coaching, but we also do quote checks. So for instance, if an IA has a question about a quote they're sending to a client, they can send us an email to my team and we can check to see if that's the best quote. So exactly what you said. A shared success model is super important.
You must feel a great sense. I just thought of this as I was hearing you answer the question, but you must take great pride in a feeling of success when you're working with somebody and you can feel and see that light bulb go on, right? And they're like, oh, I think I finally get it.
Absolutely, especially our new IAs. When they start and they take a lead, they think that success is gonna come right away. But as I said at the beginning, it takes time. But then a couple of weeks, maybe a month later, when they see their sales are getting higher and higher, I can see their faces on how happy they are, and many of them just thank us for the support we gave them and the support we gave to their businesses.
Let's talk about you, Oswaldo, for a second. When you get a chance to be away from work, has travel always been something that's been important to you and your family as you grew up?
Absolutely. Me and my family, we try to take at least 6 trips a year, and we that's very important. And not only because we like to travel, but as I said, we like to connect. When I go on a trip, the destination can be beautiful, everything can be great, but it's all about the people that I'm able to meet. And how what I said is, if I can meet one or two new people during my trip that made a difference in my life, I consider that trip successful. But yes, we like I said, we try to take 6 trips a year, and then it's all about family and disconnecting from our regular lives and making meaningful connections with the places with this.
Tell me about this love of roller coasters, though. I found that fascinating on your slide that you were almost a full day riding them.
Correct. So Disney had a day where they're open for 24 hours. So we did all the roller coasters that were available in 24 hours. I was very tired, but it was a lot of fun. I love the adrenaline when you're just on a roller coaster. And one of the best things I like about it, when you're going up and then at any point it's gonna go down, there's nothing else you can think about. You're just focusing on that moment. So that's what I love about roller coasters, the adrenaline and the fact that you're only focusing on that second right there.
Yeah, that chink, 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 chink as you go to the top, right? It's that anticipation of what's going to happen. And as you feel it start to free fall over the other side, you know you're in for quite the exciting ride, no doubt about it. Are there any trips on the horizon or any recent travel that you'd be excited to share?
Yeah, so we are going to Vegas in April, one of my favorite cities. And then from there, we are headed over to San Juan. And then in November, we're taking a family trip to Pigeon Forge State, Tennessee for Christmas. And so, yeah, those are the trips that are on the horizon right now. I'm very excited. It's some of the places I've never been to before, so I cannot wait.
So we talked about roller coasters. Any other things that you do away from work or hobbies or activities that
Yeah.
you like to engage and keep you busy?
Yeah, so I love to try new restaurants. So culinary is super important for me, and go to concerts. So I love going to a new concert, and music is very important to me. We just this year, 2022, I did about 9 concerts. So it was a lot of fun. But again, everything goes back to connecting with people. And that's what I do here at Avoya with the brand sales team.
Music is certainly an amazing way to connect with another person, no doubt about that. Oswaldo, a couple more questions before we wrap up today. Uh, from your perspective, what is the benefit in having a travel advisor focus on specialization?
We are huge here on the brand sales team here on the specialization. And the reason why is because we always use this example. If you go to a doctor, you need a specialist, right? If you're not a specialist, there's no way you can know everything about every single brand. Brand policies changes, new promotions come up. But if you need to learn about 14 different, 15 different brands and their different promotions, you're not going to be able to efficiently support your clients. And therefore, the client's going to sense that. And the client is going to sense that potentially they ask you a question and you have to say, let me call you back. I'm going to have to call the cruise line. But if you're a trade specialist, you know the answers because you know the brands in and out. One of the other ways we help our independent agency owners here is that we have a brand sales questionnaire. So we provide the questionnaire and they fill it out so that when a client asks them a question, it is easier for them to look up those answers without having to tell them to hold on while they call the cruise line potentially.
Fantastic piece of advice. Oswaldo, having been in the industry for several years, business owner, brand sales specialist, when you look ahead, are you excited for the future of the travel industry, despite all of the recent challenges that we've had?
I am extremely excited, and let me tell you why. Like you said at the beginning of the call, our numbers have been phenomenal, but more than that, travel is an emotional purchase. An emotion never ends, right? Emotion is gonna keep on growing, and people are gonna be more interested in travel every year. And I think people, younger generations especially, are focusing more on experiences rather than buying things. And for us here in the travel industry, that's great because as our business, we are selling experiences and we are basing those experiences upon emotions. So I cannot wait for what is coming for the travel industry.
This is why I love focusing and having people from the brand sales team, join us as guests for On Deck with Avoya. Oswaldo Guzman, everyone, brand sales specialist for Avoya Travel. Oswaldo, so great to have you on, and thank you for sharing your expertise with our guests today.
I was delighted to be here, and I'm happy to be back anytime.
Sounds great. We look forward to having you back for an Avoya Insider segment then next time we have you on the show then, Oswaldo. Next week, we're excited. We're going to be welcoming in Senior Vice President of Partnerships, Ashley Hunter. Ashley is going to be back on the show as our featured Avoya Insider guest. We're excited to welcome Ashley back to On Deck with Avoya as we discuss so many cool topics, right? Our recent new relationship with the Travel Leaders Network, the amazing events on tap for 2023 on the calendar for Avoya Travel. And Ashley has even promised us an exclusive On Deck with Avoya scoop. So we're going to hold her to that. Don't miss out on next week's On Deck with Avoya at our normal time on Thursday. That's 11:15 a.m. Pacific time, 2:15 on the East Coast. We've got so many exciting things going on right now, and we're excited to share with you a couple of fantastic promotions. If you watch our show, you're not part of the network, but you're kind of a high-end big deal, right? Like you did over $100,000 in gross sales in 2022. But as you sit here at the beginning of 2023, you still wish you had a more competitive home, maybe a better home that provides more support and back office and all the things you need to take your business to a next level. Well, it's a win-win because if you meet our qualifications, again, you've been selling leisure travel for at least a year, over $100,000 in verifiable sales from last year, then we have an opportunity where you can join the network at a waived fee. We'll waive our affiliation fee. All you have to do is get to avoyanetwork.com, get that request in, get connected with an affiliation specialist. They'll get you qualified. We'll get you approved for that promo, and boom, you can be in the network. You can take your business to new heights, work with amazing people like Oswaldo, our guest today. And speaking of promotions, we also have our ongoing, very successful promotion honoring those who have served and do serve, our veterans discount for active duty and retired military personnel and their spouses, taking $100 off that affiliation fee. We're so proud of the veterans that have joined the program. They make great travel advisors. They're well-traveled, they're well-disciplined, they understand focus and engagement. It's a win-win. If you qualify, again, please reach out. We would love to be able to have that conversation and get you qualified for that fantastic promotion. For those that are new to the travel industry, this has really been a game changer going into 2023. It's the travel agent education powered by Avoya. Just barn burners doing amazing success stories already out of the gate, and they only started like the last day of November of last year. So we're not even 2 full months into this program. It's dynamic and comprehensive travel advisor curriculum. You're looking at about 30 to 40 hours of online self-paced lessons, the travel agency proficiency TAP exam. You're going to get free membership in CLIA, free membership in ASTA. You're going to get a discounted rate to affiliate with Avoya Travel, and you're going to get yourself up a couple of notches on the ladder of success to operating your own business. What about that? Doesn't sound like a win-win, let me tell you. definitely make sure you reach out to Avoya Network and get all the information about the travel agent education powered by Avoya. And then when you do get a chance to affiliate, our resources, best in class, no doubt about it. You heard Oswaldo talking about brand sales, just one of the amazing resources that we have that help you with live leads and turnkey marketing and dedicated agency support. Pick up the phone 7 days a week, someone there to help you. Easy to use, amazing travel technology, professional development, education, all of the things that you need in order to be successful. So please reach out and get that conversation started with a network affiliation specialist today. And there's so many ways that you can stay in touch with Avoya Travel and the Avoya Travel Network on social media. So if you're watching us on YouTube, please give us a subscription, like, and ring the bell and all of that fun stuff. Same thing with our Facebook page. The more the merrier. We have all sorts of exclusive content. You'll never miss a beat. We want to be able to stay in touch with you. And if you're getting ready to get in touch with us, how do you do that? Well, that's pretty simple too, right? You reach out. There's my direct email, chris.green@avoyatravel.com. You can pick up the phone and call us. Again, as I've said, avoyanetwork.com is the best place to get the conversation started. Get connected with someone on my team and see if we can't make this work. And you can be a member of the Avoya Network. In 2023 can be your best year in travel, or be the year that you finally started to launch your dreams and make them come true. A big thank you again to Oswaldo Guzman for that fantastic conversation. Big thank you to Annabella from Trade Marketing for doing a wonderful job producing today's segment. Thank you for joining us. We just love your participation in our show. Thank you so very much. Until next Thursday when we return with Ashley Hunter, take care, everyone.